So are you like a techie guy? I mean, besides that, do you like technology in general?
I mean, for the most part, I can't. There's some communicating systems I just can't stand out there, and mini splits are great when you install them, but when they break down because there's nothing that's universally the same when it comes to you know to trying to diagnose it. So you're always having to call tech support to ask, okay, what does this flashing code mean? Because there's nothing that says it on the unit anywhere. So and
Yeah.
then
Every single one of them is proprietary in every way.
oh yeah. There nothing is the same, even though there's all just a one, two, and three. But the one, two, and three can mean something completely different with each one of them. And
Yeah. Have you ever had focus training on any mini split? I mean, I don't know if you'd have to have it,
I,
but I'm just
so
curious.
I've gone. I don't like. I don't know. I've gone to a couple of mini split training classes, but they seem more like a sales pitchy type thing instead of a more
Oh.
technical side of
Mhm.
it. And I can't stand that. I feel like that's a whole waste of time for me because I'm here to learn how to diagnose it, and so I don't have to waste time on the phone, and you're just telling me, oh, this model does this and this model does that, but you're not telling me how to fix this model and how to fix that model if it breaks down. And
Yeah.
like with I know with the carrier infinity systems, I had to pay $75. This was probably like 10 years ago. I had to pay $75 per technician to take a training class to be able to get carrier infinity parts. Because so carrier infinity and Brian evolution are the same thing essentially. It's like a Chevy and a GMC. They're both the same exact thing. So but because they're communicating systems, carrier had this thing where if if a thermostat went bad, you couldn't get that thermostat unless you had this training class, and it was in their system showing you had taken this training class.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Carrier doesn't want their units sullied by some moron out
That's
there
true.
that's crossing over the data wires or whatever.
That is true.
Really, I know that's the idea, but I think of like Ferrari. I recently heard a story about Ferrari where they released a vehicle. I don't know if this is true, but the story sounds like Ferrari, just on my limited knowledge of them. And you can't take the vehicle home, even after you purchased it. They keep it and they bring it to the track for you, and you can drive it, and then they take it back. That's what it
Wow.
seems like to me. It's sort of things like it's such a pleasure for you to be working on Carrier. You need to be trained. The pleasure is yours to
Oh,
buy
I had
their
a
parts.
training's the same way. Like I had this train
Yes.
unit that was a full communicating system, and this is part of the reason why I don't like train equipment is because
Where's Ted?
yeah, I know,
Ted, are you
right?
still here?
I know, right?
Okay. Yeah. He'll be fine.
But
He just says train. He refers to it as he's part of it. Like they're a big group and a force. Like
yeah, yeah,
the Force. You like Star Wars, and he's part of it. So I mean,
yeah.
I think it's funny, but I just think about the two different people.
But
Training
yeah.
sucks.
I had a train unit that was, I don't know, it was some fancy communicating thing I'd never seen before, and so I called train tech support and said, hey, it's giving me this weird code and weird error on the thermostat. What do I need to do? And he's like, his first question was, have you taken a training class for it? And I'm like, well, no. I'm like, but can't you just kind of walk me through on what I need to do so I can, at least get an idea on what parts I need to order, and we can figure it out from there so the homeowner can get some air conditioning because it's 100 degrees outside. And he was like, no. He's like, if you haven't taken a training class, I can't help you. And I'm like, okay. And
Got any
that
pains in
homeowner was
stock?
yeah, that homeowner was not happy to say the least. And I'm like, sorry. I'm like, I tried. If I could have fixed it, I would have. But if
Do
I
you have
can't
any
get help,
doubt that you could have gone in there and fixed it anyway?
I mean, if I had somebody to help me and walk me through it, I know I could have. I mean, but if I don't know where to start with it because it's giving, error code 250 and error code 25, and then the outdoor board's got this weird like push button. I mean, I just didn't know where to
Why?
get started with it. And there was no reset, because a lot of times you can try and read, like on the Carrier Infinity units, there's literally a service button you can click on thermostat. You can go in and click reset the codes to get it started from fresh. There was the train guy wouldn't even get me started to like even kind of like let me try to reset something, because I tried killing the power to it and see if I kill the high voltage and reset it to see if that would do something, and it still was given the same code. So I was like, I don't know. So
And they don't just write it on the door. I mean, I've worked on mini splits before. Like I remember a long time ago working on mini splits, and the codes were on the door. And because of that, we figured out the problem and we solved it. And that was great. And that seems like a really good way to do it. I mean, furnaces have been doing that since the dawn of time. You know, how many flashes was it? It was probably this. Go solve the problem. But this nowadays is like, they come to like, y'all can't handle this. All right.
Yeah, I mean the more like, you know, just the more efficient the unit is, and they add more stuff into it. Like Bosch units are the same way. I mean, we ran into one that we called tech support while we were there, and because there's not a contactor, it's one enormous control board. And this control board costs $3,000. I mean, for a control board,
the Bosch doesn't even cost that much. You know, that's crazy.
I mean, and like we called them, and because like it was given, I don't know what the code was. It was like I think it was coming up as like a sensor code or something. And, you know, sometimes you call and you sit there and wait, and then they'll never pick up. So I was like, I told when a technician called me, I said, just leave. I was like, if they finally pick up the phone, tell them what the codes were and tell them what it was doing, and ask if there's something we can do to, you know, try and figure it out, you know, or if they can kind of give us an idea. And they finally got a hold of them. I think it was an hour and a half later. And they were like, no, you have to be in person for us to help you diagnose it. And so we had to go back another day and call and sit there and wait and just twiddle our thumbs until they picked up the phone. Ended up being the control board and the fan motor were both shorted. And
you ever think they just tell you a bunch of stuff and like it's part of what you're changing out is the reason why, but they just say, go ahead and change out the fan motor, the control board, thermostat inside, and your neighbor's unit.
Oh, and the parts were under warranty. So I mean, you know, I was like, if I had known that from the get-go, I would have just ordered the fan motor and control board and just been done with this thing. But, you know, but I don't know. It's just, some of this stuff just blows my mind with all this extra fancy technology, you know, because, you know, once you get to where there's not a contactor, not, you know, even if there's, you know, because, you know, there's always some kind of a capacitor in the unit. I mean, because at least, you know, because sometimes there's variable speed condenser fan motors, so they won't have a capacitor, but there'll still be one for the compressor. I mean, this Bosch unit didn't have any of that. I was just like, how? I was like, what in the world?
It's a mystery of nature, the Bosch. I have one at the house here, and it's got a giant control board, and I don't know how it works.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you had that. So
I've got a Bosch right over there, and it's beautiful. It's still working. I mean, it broke down the first day. But, I mean, really, the first day I was super ticked off. So what happened is the breaker that's on the heat kit, of all things, it's not even really associated with the Bosch. It's like some breaker, some manufacturer gave them for this heat kit, and it was just busted. It wouldn't close. And I just wired around it, of course, because I didn't need that breaker anyway to disconnect 3 foot away. So I just wired around it, and the Bosch has been fine ever since. No issues at all.
Didn't you have a condensate issue or something at one point where you had to like wrap
humidity.
The thing in extra?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, evidently this is Florida, because I go up in my attic, and the thing is condensing so profusely. It's filling the condensate pan. So it's basically like a dehumidifier for my attic. It's just doing it in a weird way, you know, and it's all dripping in there, and it would clog up the pan because I never ran the secondary. It's just plugged up, you know, so I got to pump it out. I mean, because I'm lazy, and I didn't want to run it out there.
Most time the water doesn't get high enough to it'll kill it at the float switch before it even gets to the secondary drain line. So
yeah, it was, you know, I haven't done it this year yet. I look forward to it, but I know it's going to happen because it's either that or the drain does clog. So once the drain clogs, because the aluminum coil inside, it's not very antimicrobial. That didn't come out right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And the slime appears on these aluminum coils, clogs up the drain. It happens once every couple of years. First time it happened, it overflowed. So every bit of insulation is ruined in the bottom. So now it just condenses worse every year. Eventually, the Bosch will just liquefy and float down the drain. But, I mean, besides that, I mean, it's been okay. You know, I put a zone system and all sorts of crap on it. So, I mean, we have 3 zones in our house. It's like super overkill. It's like the stupidest thing you ever saw. But, yeah, it is funny because, you know, I'm such a huge influencer out there going viral right now. I'm probably going viral right now. That's never happened, by the way. Emerson sent a couple thermostats. So I have these 2 like Wi-Fi stats that aren't hooked up to Wi-Fi and 1 Honeywell stat from Walmart. It's so hilarious. The kids get the Walmart stat.